Whew.
Been proactive regarding locking up Dak Prescott in the final year of his deal. Mikey T, what kind of bind are they in at this point? What should the Cowboys be doing?
Hannah, they're in a massive bind.
Massive.
Dak Prescott a blank check. Let's just cut through it all. At the end of the season, they cannot franchise Dak Prescott. They did not draft his replacement. They have a really good team, and Dak was second in the league in MVP voting. So basically what you're saying to Dak is, what is it going to take to sign you? And I think he's going to blow away all records from an average per year and guaranteed basis.
Ooh.
Yeah, to Mike's point, the original sin here was letting Dak play out his contract, not getting a deal done the first time around, and now they're in a position where there really are two not great options. One is to, as he said, give Dak an enormous contract because of all his leverage. The other is to move on after this year, in which case you'll be in quarterback purgatory. My preference would probably be the overpay, just because I don't think they have any good options, partly of their own volition, but there are no easy choices for Dallas because of the decisions they made years ago.
Let's talk about those Cowboys. Their defense led the NFL in takeaways during Dan Quinn's 3 seasons as their defensive coordinator. They did so by pressuring the quarterback. Under Quinn, Dallas pressured opposing QBs on 36% of their dropbacks. That was the highest rate in the NFL. But with Quinn leaving Dallas now, head coach for the Commanders, Mike Zimmer takes over as the Cowboys DC. And Zim talked about coming into this well-established unit, and he said, and I quote, "Usually when I come in, the defense is not good, you know? They're pretty darn good. So it's a little different for me because we have to advance some of the things we were doing good and try to improve on the things they weren't doing so good. But for the most part, they played pretty darn good.
Played pretty darn good.
Accentuate that, maybe a little more technique-oriented, maybe a little more disciplined. Some of those things, close quote. All right, D. Woody. We know Zim, right? He is going to demand preparation. He is going to demand discipline. This is a defense that was top 3 in penalties last season. How different do you anticipate this defense is going to look?
Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be some different variables with this defense, particularly I think in how they attack blitz-wise. I think the one thing about Mike Zimmer, he likes to run a lot of simulated blitzes. And when you talk about Dan Quinn's defense, that's usually a one gap, get up the field. They like to rush the quarterback and stop the run on the way to the quarterback. So I think when you talk about Mike Zimmer, you're going to see a guy that is going to demand a little bit more out of his guys. Guys going to have to think a little bit more about the play calling that he's going to throw out there. And, I think that's going to be an adjustment for this Dallas Cowboys defense because under Quinn, they didn't want to do a lot. They didn't want to have a lot of complicated schemes because they wanted guys to not think as much and just get up the field. So there's going to be some differences in this new scheme that they're going to run in Dallas.
I thought that quote was really interesting from him. He talked about the things they did well and accentuating things they didn't do well. As Damian said, Mike's known for his simulated pressures, the infamous AA gap blitz in Minnesota. Yeah, I think we'll see some of that, and I expect that the Cowboys will continue to rush the passer at a high level. That's not what they didn't do well, though. What he is probably alluding to or talking around was the fact that they really struggled to defend the run, particularly in the later part of the season. Now, it should be noted, a lot of those struggles were due to personnel. In fact, when we look at the groupings that they use, Dallas used their base defense, meaning when they just had 4 DBs on the field, less than 4% of the time. They were living in dime with 3 safeties, in large part because they did not have they literally ran out of linebackers on this team to injury. So now you bring in Eric Kendricks, who's a veteran, Overshawn, who was a rookie last year and lost the season due to injury, he was a 3rd-round draft pick, will play. I think we're going to see a little bit more base defense, and I think it's going to be incumbent upon Zimmer to get them to play the run better from a technique perspective as well.
We're almost into this.
Not all first-year coordinators are created equal. Through the lens of Mike McCarthy, I'm telling Mike Zimmer, we have about 5 minutes to transition here. I don't want to hear, like, for the first month of September, we're getting the kinks worked out or we're trying some new calls. Mike McCarthy is under enormous pressure. We all know that. He's in the last year of his contract. So from a head coach perspective, we're going to do what we do well, maybe tweak a couple of things, as you guys mentioned, like simulated pressures. But by and large, we have to be great from day one. And I agree with Mina that Eric Kendricks is a consequential acquisition because they were really undersized at linebacker towards the end of last year. Maybe Stephon Gilmore is signed as a depth at corner, but this has to be a defense that hits the ground running.
We'll stop it right there. What's up, good people and trolls? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. And speaking of the ladies, we got Gina Dallas Diva. What's up, Gina Dallas Diva? We've got Roland's Review. What's up, Stacy? How are you doing tonight? Miss Puppies, Angelica Barone. What's up, Angelica? We got Renee in the house. What's up, Renee? How are you doing? And I see, it's amazing to me. People just love to hate me. I'm just trying to understand. For me, if I have somebody who's out there that I think is the village idiot, that is just stupid, that has no clue on reality, I don't spend any time watching them. It's like, why am I wasting my time? But lo and behold, all of these low IQ mother humpers that just can't stand Mark Holmes, they just can't stand to stay away. Welcome, trolls. You guys. Alan Williams in the house. What's up? Trey Lance Monday. I heard Lance is outperforming Hurts in OTAs. I'm hearing everybody's outperforming Hurts in OTAs, but that's just me. Curtis. What's up, Curtis? How are you doing? I'm okay. Spotted Milk Nye. You takes are delusional, but people got to separate the team from the person. Okay, Spilled Milk. I appreciate that. Twiz Digga in the house. What's up? Jamal Griffin, Eagles. I got so many Eagle fans in here. Boy, Kid Cowboy, Curtis, football. Lord Nova, thanks for coming on over. So today, of course, ends. We can put to bed OTAs. The optional team activities are now done. They're out of here. No more. From now on, all we have left is minicamp, which is later next week, 3 days, which is mandatory. We'll see who shits and who gets off the toilet. Mike Aldana, what's up? Trolls love Mark. You ain't lying, man. Oh, my God. I think that the troll ratio that I have has to be higher than anybody else. It has to be higher than anybody else. Propa definitely was kept out of politics. Let's keep it football. Yeah, there you go. Angelica's hanging out at the beach now. The puppies got left behind. Have you noticed something? This is, oh my God. My God. Subtly, there's a big change. We heard for the last, since the end of the season, the Cowboys suck. They let so many players go. They've done nothing in free agency. And now we're hearing kind of a pivot. Super Bowl aspirations. Super Bowl contender. Cowboys or Eagles to win the division if, the Giants or Washington somehow do. Joanne Gonzalez, what's up, JoJo? How are you doing? Kiana Miss Gibson, what's up? How are you doing, Miss Gibson? So all of a sudden now we're beginning to hear, Super Bowl, playoff team, built roster. Wait a minute. You guys have killed us all off season. I mean, ask me if you've heard that Dak Prescott sucks and he's a choke artist, this, that, and the other. And now I'm hearing, Pro Football Focus, he's, the number one rated guy going into the season in the NFC. They don't fit. James Snyder, what's up, James? Kid Cowboy, what's going on? You're hearing now all of a sudden, oh yeah, they've got some young people. But this is a real question. Real question. Because one of the things that they kept knocking us for was you would hear that they let key personnel go. Right? They let key personnel go. That they didn't sign any of their own players. Let me ask you guys, are we a better team if we had kept B.A.M? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are we a Super Bowl contender with B.A.M versus without him? I'm asking for a friend because this is the kind of stuff that you hear. Tyron Smith. Are we a Super Bowl contender with Tyron Smith, but without him we're not? Again, I'm asking for a friend. Because, last year Tyron Smith played a lot of games. But do you feel that Tyron Smith is the Tyron Smith of old? I know he was voted All-Pro. But I remember the Tyron Smith who used to take his left arm and literally just push a guy out the way. It was just like, move it, get out the way, get out the way. And I don't see that Tyron Smith anymore. I just don't. And mind you, he's gone to Green Bay. And I don't know if you guys saw this with, forgive me, I still have a little bit of this cold, with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers does not look right. Aaron Rodgers, who I think he tore his left Achilles, had his right leg looked at, his right ankle. And after it, you saw him running in OTAs, and he didn't look like he was right. His running motion looked terrible. And remember, they were talking about him playing if they were in contention in December. And I'm looking at that, and I'm like, Aaron Rodgers don't look good. He don't look good. But be that as it may. Do you guys think that with Dorrance Armstrong on the team, that we're a Super Bowl contender, but we're not without him? Johnny, you're 100% right. Health issues with Smith. 49ers win versus Jet week 1. I think I would take probably that one, Trey Lance Monday. Rodgers with the Jets. Derek Young, how are you? I don't think that the Cowboys lost major things. Now, I still kind of hope that maybe they want to bring back Stephon Gilmore just as an insurance policy, but I don't think he necessarily fits what Mike Zimmer wants to do. I know that the Eagles fans are kind of crazy. In fact, it was comical to me. I realize it doesn't matter. It honestly doesn't matter how you explain anything. Okay? Some people are so set in their ways that they will not honestly change their mind on their opinion, even if they know that it's not anywhere close to being correct. It was so crazy listening to Dan Saleo and Philly 500. Dan asked me, who has the better back end? The Cowboys or the Eagles? Okay, we're just talking about cornerbacks and safeties. Now, I don't know how you can. Game Time Brian. Shout out to Game Time, man. Game Time, so people think that I'm being mean to you, man, bro. I got people calling me out and saying that I'm a piece of shit because I was talking about training camp with you, man. I'm just like, damn. It doesn't matter what I do. I'm always an asshole. Mark Holmes is the worst person in the world. He's an idiot. He's stupid. He's fake. He's a liar. I just don't understand it. And it's like, I don't hurt nobody. I don't hurt nobody. But Philly 500 literally said in this conversation that the Eagles, I like the Eagles secondary better than the Cowboys, and they're going to be better. What? Come on, bro. Bro. Seriously? Chris May, love you all. Late Mark, Cowboys Nation. Shout out to Chris May. Better late than never. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. I sit here and think, as we look at this, because here's the other thing that I keep hearing on the shows and stuff. Oh, well, if the Eagles get things together, they're going to be big problems for the Cowboys. There's no chance for the Cowboys. The Eagles going to get things together. It's like, but wait a minute. Is this selective memory? Did the Eagles, who were Super Bowl favorites last year, who were 10-1, didn't they literally go off a cliff? Didn't some of those guys that they picked up not do anything? My man Game Time Brian said that literally Nolan Smith is holding on by a thread. Nolan Smith is holding on by a thread. Now, they say Jordan Davis is looking good this year, but damn, we've been hearing that the last 2 years, ain't we? Or 3 years. And I can't say that he is a difference maker on a defense that sucked ass. I said it, Twiz, and Philadelphia. I said it. Your defense sucked ass. We had linebacker problems. We didn't have any linebackers. Y'all have linebacker problems, and I don't know that you really have done jack about it. You may be starting 2 rookies on the back end. Jalen Hurts is on another offensive coordinator. And mind you, this is what sucks. Here's what's crazy. Don't believe me? Go check for yourself. People will say, Jalen Hurts, man, he's an incredible playoff quarterback. Okay. Well, he's 2-3 in the playoffs. He's got 2 wins. In his 5 playoff games, he's got a total of 5 TDs. So 1 TD a game is considered great playoff play? Am I getting that right? So you average 1 touchdown pass a game. 1 touchdown pass a game. You got a 2-3 record, and you're considered great as a playoff quarterback? I pissed Mike, man, showing up. Oh, good. Oh, you're pissed that Mike is not showing up and calling out his teammate. Yeah, that's. We'll get to that in a minute here too. So I'm sitting here in my mind. I get it. I'm a homer. I'm going to be pro Cowboys. Philly 500. He's an Eagle fan. He's pro Cowboys. But this, and I'm hoping. I will give you and say, you know what? I'll sit here and I'll say, I believe we got the best quarterback in the division. Contrary to what other people say, you don't have 36 TDs and 9 interceptions. The year before was a down year, but we also had a broken thumb. The year before that, we had 37 TDs. So I'm sitting here looking at this and looking at a guy who's on the precipice of owning every Cowboys passing record there is and say, I think we're in pretty good shape with a quarterback. I've seen him make some incredible plays and stuff where he should have been sacked. So I feel pretty good about that. I can say, yeah, we got rid of 2 offensive linemen, but our offensive line has been in flux since Travis Frederick had Hillian Bars. Because you guys don't seem to realize that the pinnacle of the Cowboys offensive line was like 2014, 2015, maybe 2016. But from the time Travis Frederick got Hillian Bars syndrome, you then started having problems with the guard. You started having Tyron Smith, who started breaking down and so on. Then you had questions, of course, at right tackle. because Lyle Collins was in there playing real good for 1 year. Then he started getting injured. You know, you guys don't remember when we had Lyle Collins and Tyron Smith both gone. Lyle Collins was overweight and his hip went out. Tyron Smith, of course, another injury. So I don't know that our offensive line is any worse than it's been in the last 5 years. I'll say at least it's young, with the exception of Zach Martin. So I don't know that that's worse. I can look and say, I see a lot right now with Brandon Cooks, who seemed a little slow starting the season, but stepped it up. I pointed this out. If you look at the numbers, he literally, the second half of the season, was averaging 4 more yards per reception and doubling his output as the season went on. If I can get that guy, who now seems to be in there with Dak Prescott, who's letting you know that Dak Prescott is really firing that ball, that he is on a mission, as Brandon Cook says, and without a contract, yeah. So here's the next thing. So people say nobody has a contract. Mike McCarthy doesn't have a contract. Dak Prescott doesn't have a contract. CeeDee Lamb doesn't have a contract. Micah Parsons, you know, who, although he's still got this year and the following year, doesn't have a new contract. I hear what you're saying, but for the players, you either pay me now or you pay me later. I'm going to get paid. And having a contract doesn't necessarily mean that you got any job security. Zeke Elliott had a contract, right? Michael Gallup had a contract, right? Jalen Smith, he had a contract. And guess what? They all got let go. You think it's the worst thing in the world that CeeDee Lamb doesn't have a contract right now? Is it the worst thing in the world for him as the numbers keep going up? It's like, bro, call me after Justin Jefferson. Then I'll be upset if I don't have my contract after that, which will make me the highest paid. So I think we're making a lot of big deal about stuff that may not be as big as we think. Now, on to the Micah Parsons issue here. Would I love to have Micah Parsons in? Yes, I would. Would I love Micah Parsons to be a leader in rallying the troops? Yes, I would. Would I wish that Micah Parsons was a little less diva-ish? Yes, I would. However, the stuff that's going on right now with the, he's this, he's that. Listen, with the exception of the Cowboys one block, that boy can play. Parsons needs to be traded now. Okay. Mike is no leader. We can forget about that. Yeah. And that's maybe something that comes later on. Right now, Micah is living his best life. And he realizes that football is something that I do, that I enjoy, that pays me really, really well. But I'm also going to discover some of the other things that I like. I can say myself, I do construction work. Not as much as I used to. But I started doing some YouTube while I was doing construction work. And people are like, what are you doing? You can't do that. It's like, but I'm just kind of, I'm still getting my work done and everything else. I'm still kind of doing YouTube too. Yaz and Cowboy, what's up, man? And it developed into doing this as well. Now, I don't know if that's maybe what Mikey Parsons wants to do. He wants to be, that guy that's everywhere. Kind of like ABC's Wild World Sports. I don't know. Nico Collins second with Stroud might surprise you and become a top 5 wide receiver. Well, Eastside, we'll see what happens this year. We'll find out if there is a second year slump that happens. The Ross crime family. Okay. I'm sorry. Are you new here? The Rothschild family? Did I welcome you? Peace out, bro. You and your buddy. Or excuse me, should I say you? Go ahead. Now go ahead. Go ahead and make another, another profile and come on, or just grab another one of the 50 million that you have and come on back. Trying to work for the government for 30 years. Yeah, but one thing I will say about working for the government, though, is it's a steady paycheck. It's steady. Sometimes when you work self-employed, bro, sometimes you be working and you just ain't getting paid. Parsons will need to have an Aunt FX him those AE1 shows, okay? Kaidu thinks we in a sad state in my as a country. I don't think what are you talking about? I don't know about a sad state. I've been doing pretty good. I'm healthy. I got my friends. I got football. I got TV. Lord knows I had plenty to eat. I've seen a few of you guys say hi to me. Dirty Sanchez. But if I don't say hi back, it's because I'm driving and I really can't at the time. But hello, everybody, in case I miss it. Why are you typing now then, Dirty? Bro, if you're driving, why are you typing that response? Lou Branch. Marcus Rich. Psh. You know what? Clouds, I will say I am rich. I am filthy rich. Not with money. I'm a broke ass when it comes to money. But I'm going to say with the friends that I have, the people that I'm fortunate enough to surround myself around, the people that I know, the great, not the FJs of the world, not those assholes. But I am rich in friendship because, you know, it's kind of important here. Money has one thing to say, and that's goodbye. It does. As soon as you get it, it goes. And you have some people that spend their whole life just chasing money. Even though they've got money, they're still chasing more and more and more. What's really important about life is because when you go, that money's not going with you. What you really have to pay attention to is the journey on the way, the relationships that you made. I have done some things and been part of some things that are 100% priceless. And they weren't necessarily easy. I will say, and this is going to sound like you're crazy, but I will say, taking that drive to Dallas with my son, my wife, Damn Gina, Game Time Brian, and going down there to help Stewart's family and meeting Randy Seitz there and his son. That was one of the most richest experiences that I've ever had in my life. So if you say I'm rich, yeah, I'm rich. Yeah, I'm way rich. Generational wealth. Yeah, well, you know what? It's up to you to make your own shit. How about that? Even if it's $1. You enter this world with nothing and you leave it with nothing. That is the truth. You just hit the nail on the head. But shout out to my man Game Time Brian, because I think he's had a couple rough days, and hopefully everything's getting to be a little bit better, get better for him. I know it's a crazy time at work and stuff. Brian, it's about to get worse, way worse. Well, I'm more of an optimist. I've been hearing that things are going to get worse for a while, and they don't seem to get worse. I'm sitting here looking and thinking that the price of gas dropped about 30 cents when I filled up coming up here. And this is usually the peak because everybody's going to the beach. But, you know, what do I know? So the Cowboys tomorrow or at midnight, in 2.5 hours from now, will get $9.5 million. $9.5 million, which will take him over $14 million. What's interesting about this, I know it don't sound like much money, although I'd love to have $14 million because then you talk about I could maybe pass that down to my kids and have some generational wealth. The Cowboys have not had more than $8.9 million at any point this offseason. At any point. And somehow they got the rookie class signed. They brought in Eric Kendricks. They've brought back Zeke. You may look at that and say, yeah, those aren't great moves. But now they got 14 and a half. Raise your hand if anybody thinks that CeeDee Lamb is not going to get a new contract. Does anybody think that CeeDee Lamb is not going to get a new contract? He is. The Cowboys, they love the drama. Angelica, I liked Michael Gallup. I met him in Atlanta at the Super Bowl, I think 2017. Nice guy. Great guy. But unfortunately, the injury bug got him. And from the time he had the injury, he had lost all confidence. And I don't know what happened to him, because I don't know how you go from being, over 1,000 yards your second season to 800 to 450 and 400. It just kept going downhill. And that's one of the things that the Cowboys end up doing is, while we drafted him, he's kind of come back. Sometimes you just don't come back. And that was one of those ones that they should have never done that big contract. They should have let him come back from the injury and then see what they had and then go from there. That's why we're in the issue that we are. You think of the Jalen Smith, you think of the Michael Gallup, you think about how many times they've gone through and restructured. Now, I'm going to say that I think that the Cowboys have decided to hit the reset button. Not the reset button as in, let's get rid of the whole team. When you talk about somebody here talking about generational wealth and being rich and having money and stuff, my daughter right now is going through and she's trying to pay off her $30,000 in debt. She's gotten half of it paid off, and she's working on that so that way she can get her own place, and I'm very, very proud of her. What you have to realize is, to get out of debt, you have to stop spending the way you were before, and you have to bite the bullets, and you got to pay these debts instead of pushing them off. When you push them off, they continue to build up, and of course you get into cap hell, or you get into debt. Right or wrong? Nobody wants to pay a bill. It's so easy to take the credit card and say, let me go out and buy, all the pieces of this house that I'm rebuilding and stuff. And that way I don't have to take the cash out of my pocket I have right now. Because I feel like I got money because I got cash in my pocket. But now I got $10,000 in credit card debt. So what the Cowboys have kind of decided to do was, because we talked about how the Cowboys could create $65 million in cap space. We said, get Dak Prescott done, get CeeDee Lamb's deal done. Go ahead and restructure D-Law, restructure Zach Martin. Go through and restructure all these players, and all of a sudden we got all kinds of money spent on players, right? They could have done that, but instead, I feel like the Cowboys are like, let's take this season, let's pay off the debts, and stop borrowing money on the credit cards by restructuring everybody and kicking it down the road. Let's take the $55 million on Dak this year, get that out the way. We get the new deal done. We're in better shape going forward. We'll get CD done because we got to get it done. Micah, bro, we love you, but your cap number right now is more friendly for us. We're better off waiting until next year to do you. Taz is cheaper. Randy! What's up? Randy is in the house. Shout out to Randy Seitz, who is on the road to recovery and is a little closer to home, but come, I think, July, Randy should be back home. Randy, were you just hearing me talk about you, buddy? Because I was talking about how I feel rich with Taz, Mark, you hear me, my boy? I don't know. No, I didn't hear you. Pay Trey and build a team. Well, let me ask this. Now, we've got, Mike McCarthy saying Trey is becoming a master of it. I saw a clip, where basically you'll have the quarterbacks all going in unison, doing the same moves, working on the footwork and stuff together. And I saw somebody post on Instagram, they said, doesn't Dak Prescott and Trey Lance's motions look exactly identical? Identical. And so you have this idea that people always have, that there's always somebody else that's going to be greater. Randy, what's up, Randy? Shout out to Randy. Everybody say hello to Randy, and keep him in your thoughts because he's still got a long ways to go, but we are so happy that he is doing better. We always have this hope that we have somebody else better coming along. We always do. Remember when people wanted Andy Dalton? Oh my God, Andy Dalton. Oh my God, Andy. There's no drop off from Andy Dalton. Right? Remember when Colin Cowherd said, oh man, the Cowboys, let Dak walk and get Derek Carr. There's no drop off. Derek Carr's he's a winning quarterback. Cowboys win that. Right? We always keep doing that. You got a 2-time runner-up MVP quarterback. You do realize that. Do you guys believe that Trey Lance is ready to become a runner-up or an MVP? I'm just asking for a friend. Because I'm sitting here looking around the NFL, and people are looking for quarterbacks. It's a hard thing to find. It's not so hard to find offensive linemen. It's not so hard to find wide receivers. It's not so hard to find, defensive linemen or linebackers. But it seems like, because there's a lot of great offensive linemen. There's a lot of great defensive linemen. There's a lot of great wide receivers. I can say, where am I coming live from? I guess if you just look at that big troll, he's basically doused me there, put my, where I'm at right here. I am in Eagle territory right now. I am in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. My friend Allie has a house that she's gotten that's here. That's a historic old house. If you want to fix an old house, get an old guy to fix it because they, of course, know old houses. I'm going to be going back home tomorrow, or going back to the Red Brick House tomorrow, Angelica. I was here doing a bunch of work and stuff. We rebuilt her bathroom before, and we're putting up some fixtures and things for her there, and putting up storm doors and fixing her gate and all that stuff, and making some custom screens. So we're doing some work here to get this. Broken arm, broken leg, broken rib, broken jaw, and busted lungs, but no broken spirit. Damn. Yeah, Randy, I've seen the pictures of you, man. You are a tough man. All is well, you're a damn lie. What Big Spank Dog, why are you coming here with all the heat? Oh, okay. Yeah, Harrisburg is it's interesting. There's train tracks, there's the Susquehanna River. Susquehanna River is beautiful. And it's cool. It's actually kind of chilly up here. I'm not doused. Douse means dossing. I'm sorry, dossing. Okay. Putting the address of where I'm at and telling people to come get me. How about that? Henry Hayes, I'm doing good. Cowboys strong. No, we're going to say Randy strong from now on. We need the Cowboys to be Randy strong. Mark, you got no take. It's so personal, bro. It's just sports and good fun. I would agree with you, B-Ball God. It should be that way. I'm a Cowboys YouTuber. I talk a little smack. I try and have fun with it. But people actually take it serious. There's people out there that literally, if they were to see me in the streets, would punch me in the face. I mean, seriously. I shit you not. Eagles' best team in the NFC. We'll see, Jeffrey. I don't know how you guys can be arrogant like that after you lost 6 or 7 games down the stretch and looked like some shit against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But what do I know? You were just Super Bowl contenders, or favorites, I should say. James Snyder asked, do you have a cast on your leg, Randy? Not me. I'd fight for you before I'd fight with you. I appreciate that, Lou. They better not touch my father-in-law. We're going to have problems. Yet here we are. Kate, how you doing? Shout out to Kate in the place. So I'm going to do a little poll here as we roll down here. Let's see. I'm going to do a little poll here. And we'll see where it goes. Okay. There we go. We'll put this up. Are the Cowboys in for a bad season? Yes, no, or Eagles will be much worse. That will be our poll. I have a brace. If you're going to Dan Salio's show and Philly T, you want to hear a funny one? You want to hear a funny one? Philly 500's in Cali. And so is Dan Salio. Think about that for a second. Philly 500 and Dan Salio are both in California. The Eagles are on the East Coast. And they say that we're all bandwagon fans. I have a challenge out with Philly 500, who seems to be a little bit scared. In fact, I will say he seems to be a lot scared. For those out there, people always say, when you come into Dallas, I want to hang out, and do a tailgate and things. Here's the plan. November 10th game, Cowboys versus Eagles in Dallas. Now, I've been wanting to actually go to a game at the Link, and I've been wanting to go with Philly 500, but every time we have it, it's around Christmas, and he always says, I can't go at Christmas. I got little kids. I can't go at Christmas, okay? So, I figured back since Philly 500 is halfway to Dallas, right? And Big Sills is halfway to Dallas, coming from the West Coast. Why not meet in Dallas? It's November. There's no Thanksgiving. There's no Christmas, although I think we play the Commanders the next week, which means I'll be doing a tailgate. I'll be coming back from Dallas and then doing a tailgate at the Commanders stadium. But that's okay. I'll do that. I called out Philly 500, and he literally is like, I'm not going. I'm like, what? He literally is out there. Well, I can't go there because JFK got shot there. JFK got shot in Dallas. Bro, that was 60 years ago. You're telling me you can't go to Dallas because of that? Listen into this one. This shit's funny. Here we go.
For being a good dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all right. I tell you what, bro. You
What does
better
that have to
hope.
do with
You
anything?
better hope you're never in need and look for somebody like me.
Wait,
to
wait a
help
minute.
You,
You
okay?
do it because you want to. You don't do it because you're getting back slaps and slaps on the ass.
No. You know what?
You see this, Philly? This guy wants- this
that's
is
the
the typical
problem with
Cowboy
you Eagle
fan.
fans.
I told you.
You're so into your
told
damn
you.
self. You
Wait,
only care
yeah.
about this much instead of the whole fucking world. You guys are
Hold
weak.
on.
But since
Mark Holmes is
stop.
one of those guys that wants to be thanked for not robbing a bank.
No.
Congratulations for
No,
not
you know
robbing
what?
a bank.
It's called paying it forward, bro. If I were
I
in
don't
need,
understand.
if
What-
I
what-
were in
what's the
need,
problem here?
I would like to have somebody
What's
look
the
out for
problem
me.
here?
But no, that's
What's the
okay.
problem?
But since I'm a
what's
weak,
the problem?
I'm a little weak, hiding. I'm hiding in the basement.
Oh, yeah, you
shit,
were-
right?
yeah,
I
you
got
were
a
with
challenge
the
for you
protection
guys.
You were in Vermont?
No, Philly. I
You were
tell you what,
hiding
Philly,
from
you've been dodging my ass for years. I have been saying I will go
Dodging?
to the link and watch a game.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You said my wife said I ain't going, so
but I
Philly's
can't.
the
I
bet
get
is off.
kids.
You
I get
keep
kids.
changing
It's
things.
Christmas
Why do you
time.
keep
Oh,
changing things?
bro, you
Are
always
you
got
really
an excuse.
trying?
You know
Let me
what?
tell you something,
Excuses
Phil.
are like
Let me
assholes,
tell
and
you
everybody's
something,
got one, bro.
This guy
No.
is
I got it for you.
This guy wants credit from everybody else, but he can't take any responsibility for things that he says. Let me tell you something. He wants to talk about, I'm out here in Vermont working. Nobody's congratulating me. I send him
No,
texts
it's not
saying,
congratulating.
I got
You
texts of
don't
me
make shit
saying,
up and say I'm
good
hiding.
job, Mark. That's great that you're helping people. I texted
You know what?
you it.
You know
I
what,
said it,
bro?
but
Bro,
you
bro.
need it
Oh, hold
publicly.
it, bro,
You're
bro.
full of it.
See,
and how
that's
come
the
you can't
difference.
come on in your Vermont? How come you can't come on the show?
Because
he's
I was in the middle
delivering
of
people
a freaking house
videos
rebuilding
while
it,
in
jackass.
Vermont. You made
Oh.
40-something videos.
Hey,
Not live.
he's delivering
Not
maple
live.
syrup to grandma.
Okay. All right.
You made 40-something videos in Vermont. Why couldn't you come on?
All right. So here's the deal.
You were
Okay. I'm here now.
What's that?
I'm here now.
What's that? Protection program.
I'm here. I'm here getting tag teamed by you guys.
Wait,
Listen, I get it. I get it.
Oh,
I'm here for comic relief for you Eagle fans.
He's trying to. He wants.
Okay? I'm
he
here.
wants.
Oh, I get it. I get it. I got an Eagle fan
It's
right
coming.
here. Okay?
Dude,
I'm up here in
you
Harrisburg,
like to
Pennsylvania,
try,
in
man.
Eagle territory. But hold up.
Talking football. We have to talk about you not getting you enough credit.
Hold on. No,
That's what
Okay.
we're talking about.
He likes to be the victim. I get it now.
I tell you what.
get it.
I tell you what.
You
I-
guys are
I have a
tag
solution
teaming.
for you.
What?
I have a solution here. So Philly doesn't have to worry about Christmas being ruined and going to Philly, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And since you guys are actually not in Philadelphia, that you're all on the West Coast, we can cut the
Mm-hmm.
trip down in half. And I'm challenging both of you mother humpers. Both of you.
Go to
Dan
Dallas.
Cilio and Philly 500 to show up for the Eagles game.
In Dallas. In Arlington.
And I tell you what, since Philly, your ass is so fat, I've already talked to some people. We're going to have a big tailgate.
Oh yeah, my
with
ass is
plenty
so
of
fat. You
food
got
for
3
you to
chins behind your head. You got to butter your hips to get through the door. I don't think you should
Hey.
be talking about me being fat.
Hey, Mark, I could actually.
You ain't know where to talk.
Seriously. I'm telling you, I'm letting my fans know that this is the Jobu Sports
it's all
Rumble in the
scary.
Jungle going against Dan Cilio and Philly 500. Are you going to show Philly? Philly, are you going to show? You say I'm hiding. Are you going to show Philly?
You are
This is
hiding.
the third
You
time
hid for 2
I've
weeks.
asked
Where
you
were
to go to a
Where
game.
were you? I
Are
was on
hiding?
here, and where were you? You were hiding. You were hiding.
In the off
You were
season?
hiding.
In the off season?
You were hiding.
Okay,
There's
I'll tell you
no
what.
hiding.
Are you going to be hiding come the 10th of November?
We'll see.
We'll see.
All
No,
season.
Philly.
I listen.
Do I have to pay for the plane
all
ticket?
leverage.
Hold
in
on. Oh, wait.
negotiation.
Do I
You
have to pay
bailed
for the
on
plane
link,
ticket, the game
and
ticket?
now I control the
Send a
negotiation.
chauffeur to
We'll
your
see.
house? See,
We'll
you
see.
talk about me being
Yeah,
scared.
send a chauffeur.
You ain't
Send
talking
me a
about
limo,
showing
I'll
up, bro. You look. Oh,
Send me a
we'll
limo,
see.
I'll go.
You're not man enough to say I'll
Let
be
me
there
go.
anywhere, anytime.
You lost leverage. You ran out
what?
for 2 weeks. You bailed out of going to link. And now you want to challenge me and put me on the spot. You can't put me on the spot. You lost that leverage.
I'm sorry.
Will I go to Dallas? Maybe.
Lord.
We'll see. We'll see. But
Okay. So for those out there for those out there who are saying you were hiding, bro, I ended up notifying them ahead of time because I was going to be in Vermont, which I don't know if any of you guys have ever been in Vermont before, okay? Vermont is beautiful. Vermont reminds me of the Shenandoah Valley, but maybe taller mountains. Maple syrup. Maple syrup's in everything. But Vermont is very, very rural. And some of the areas where we were working, there is no cell service. And since I had 2 different houses that we were working on, 2 different houses, I had 15 volunteers that I'm leading, some of which have never used power tools before. I can't just stop and say, I got to go do a show with a couple of idiots in the off season. So anybody out there that's this small, that's saying I was hiding, whatever, you can go pound sand. I'm not getting paid to be on the Dan Cilio show. And me being on there is not doing anything to help somebody else become whole again. So, when we talk about stuff that matters, the games are what matters. We're in OTAs now, people. OTAs. You're scrambling to find anything to even talk about. So the real question is Philly 500 man enough to show up at a game? That's all I want to know. Are you keep telling me how much the Cowboys suck. You keep telling me how much Dak is a choker, how Jerry Jones is 8,000 years old. Well, Philly, here's your chance to tell us all right there and laugh at us because your team is so great and kicks our ass. So, you going to be one or you going to buy one? There's an old saying, at least I like to think it's old, from my man Denzel.
Those who can do. Those who can't talk about those who can. Now, can you or can you not? Are you just one that sits on the sideline to talk about other people, or can you step up?
That's there you go. That's all I'm saying right there. Philly, Eagles, come to my house and shit on me. That's your chance to do it. Yet Philly 500, nah, it's in Dallas. How are the puppies, Angelica? Dan Cilio got ratings. Yeah, see, what you have to understand is, I don't mind going on Dan Cilio's show. If you go, you know what's amazing? You know what's amazing about Jacob Sports, okay, is bringing Jobu Sports on here, on his show, is good for ratings. It's good for ratings. He gets a bump up because why? He's got the Cowboys in the house. Eagle fans don't care about Eagles content. They want to talk. They just want to talk some smack. And I get it. I'm there for comic relief. But let's be clear here. Philly 500 is scared.
What am I doing? Back here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way. Mark Holmes is my daddy. Okay, that's out of the way. Ow!
So, could you imagine a tailgate? Dan Cilio, Mark Holmes, Philly 500 from AT&T. Night before, meet and greet. Who wouldn't want to be part of that? Who would not want to be part of that? That could be us, Philly 500, if you weren't so chicken. Dan Cilio's show is a haven for where people get shit on. You ain't lying. He is definitely the angry old dude. If you want to get shit on, go on Dan Cilio's show. 49ers all damn day. Facts, Mark. I think it would be great. I think it would be huge, especially for whoever team loses. Could you imagine if lo and behold, if we lost to the Eagles at home, the walk of shame and having Philly 500 and Dan there literally laughing at me and all Cowboys Nation? Or better yet, if the Cowboys kicked that Eagles ass and Philly 500 would have to do the walk of shame there at AT&T. So that's what I want to do. In fact, oh boy, I know what we're going to do. Gina Dallas-Diva already has. Tracy is working on something special. She's got this app where you can take your picture and you can be like, a Simpson if you want. You can be a Western person. I mean, you can put, it basically takes your features and puts you in whatever. She's doing in Western themes. Gina Dallas-Diva's got her and her husband. And what she's doing is she's going to get pictures of the members, and she's doing this so you're wearing Cowboys gear, not Dallas Cowboys, but like a cowboy. And she's going to do this like a whole poster or like for a shirt. I don't know how many. I mean, we got a lot of members, so it ended up being a lot of us. I think I'm going to get her to find out if there is a version that we can do and put Philly 500 as a chicken and do a shirt. Philly 500 is chicken. Or should I say chicken shit? The shirts are really nice. Yeah. She's still learning on those, Gina. But they're coming along. She's getting better and better and better with the whole system. Mark loves to sacrifice his chickens. Yeah, okay. The reason why Philly will not come to Texas is because he knows deep down he will change teams and will become a Cowboy fan. Oh, Josh. Ooh, that could be a possibility. Gina, what app is it? I have to ask Tracy what app it is, but it's a really cool app. She does those and ends up doing shirts and stuff. She's done my godniece it's her birthday, and she did some really cool shirts for her and stuff customized. You can make a 4210 shirt. There you go. 3rd and 30 shirt would be good too. So yeah, you look for that. That might be in the Jobu store real soon. A Philly 500 chicken. There might be a copyright issue with using Philly's face. Oh no, he won't. We've done stuff with again. Philly 500. We've got him right here. Look.
By the way, King Dick back here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way. Holmes is my daddy. Okay, that's out of the way.
Oh man, Dirty Sanchez, you're wrong, man. That's a big ass chicken. Come on, man. Damn, it's all laughs. We'll be fine with it probably. Oh, he definitely will. Baby Philly. All right, good people. So tomorrow, or should I say in 2 hours, the Cowboys get that $9.5 million. We've got mini camp next week, and then we have about 6 weeks of time where there's nothing. We have heard that the Cowboys may be practicing against the Rams before their preseason game against the Rams in LA. And I might try and work out to be at training camp at that period, that last week of training camp in Oxnard, and go to the preseason game. I think that'd be really, really cool. I wish I could figure out a way to get my man Game Time Brian to be able to be there too, because I've gotten so going on the last bunch of trips that I've been going on, from going to Stewart's house, going to Hall of Fame, and going to the draft, have all been with Game Time Brian. So it's kind of like, I got Joe Boo, I got my bag, I got my computer, I got to have Game Time Brian too. But we'll see if we can work something out for that. But in the meantime, I appreciate everybody being here, and we will catch you on the flip side.
I fire Howie. Fucking fire him. Motherfucker! Stupid motherfucker! What an idiot! What an idiot! Dallas has Amari Cooper and Gallup, but we don't need a receiver. Are you kidding me? I don't want Justin Jefferson. He's ass. He's stupid. I fire his ass. I fire his ass. I mean, Howie's got to be stupid. What are you doing? You just let Dallas take him. You